I want to just take a little bit of time to talk a little bit about how the powder coating booth is set up, and the gun set up, the booth, how to get everything set up so you can apply the powder to your part. One of the first things you're going to want to do is turn on the power to the booth over here, and of course we've got some lights that we can set up and reset that alarm. The reason the alarm went off is that the fans aren't going yet, and so we just reset that. And then of course we can just start the fans. Stop it. And that is basically, we're going to need those anytime that you're doing powder coating, so that powder flows back to the back of the booth. The other thing I want to talk about is the powder coating gun. Very easy setup. All you need to do is come over here and turn this on, and you'll notice that as it boots up, there are some settings on here that we can adjust. The first setting is basically the amount of airflow the amount of powder that is going through the system. So this is right now is set up to be 59, but there is 60%, and that's kind of like a default amount, and we can adjust that up or down depending on how much powder we want to have coming through there. The second line is the amount of air that's going through there, and I don't know if that's 4 cubic feet per minute or some metric equivalent, but basically it's a setting that it also can be adjusted up and down depending on how much air we want to be pushing through the system. The last two settings are the kilovolts and the milliamps, or actually microamps. And so what this gun does is it converts power from the wall into really high voltage. So this is actually going to be 100 kilovolts of a charge that is generated in the gun that this powder will pick up, but it's a very, very low amperage. And so those, of course, can be adjusted as well. The other thing that you want to be aware of are these settings down here. This one that has a straight line on it is for flat panels, and this next one is for something that is more complicated. So if I have a flat panel like we're going to shoot here in just a second, I would just use this setting right there, and it's set up the right way for the flat panel. But if I have something that has a really complicated geometry to it, like a set of car rims or a bicycle frame, I'd use this setting right here, and you'll notice that it has a different setup or different recipe than the flat panel one does. This third one over here is for a recoat. So if I put on a primer coat and then I want to put a top coat on it, then I would use this setting for the top coat because it has a different setup once you've already got that plastic coating on the outside of it. So since we're going to be doing a flat panel here, I'm going to set this up to the flat panel setting, and then we can go ahead and apply this. Please make sure not to drop this gun. This is a very, very expensive piece of equipment. We want everybody to be very careful with it. One of the other things that this gun has on the back of it, and you'll notice as I adjust this, if I set that down, it's adjusting the amount of powder that flows through the system right here. And we can quickly adjust that on the fly if we need to make a minor adjustment to it. Again, since we're doing a flat panel, I'll make sure it's on the flat panel setting. I'll turn on the fans, apply the powder, and then make sure that we've got it set up correctly so that we can put that into the oven. So one of the things that you'll notice on that powder is that it sticks to whatever's been grounded. And this piece has been grounded since the booth has been grounded, so that electrostatically charged powder sticks to that plate. And then once we're done with that, we can place that into the oven and cure it. What I want to do right now is talk a little bit about how to clean up the gun once you're done shooting a particular color, or if you need to switch colors. So let's say you're doing a base coat, and then you want to switch and do a black top coat or a different color or whatever. This will be the process that you run through. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is remove the box from the vibratory base at the bottom, and then we're going to basically start using compressed air to blow off all of the powder that's on the suction unit, and then also we're going to take this apart and clean that out, blow that out, and then finally we're going to blow out the gun, take the tip of it off, and make sure that everything is clean. So I'm going to turn the fan on so that we have positive air pressure pushing or pulling this powder into the booth, so we don't have to have a blue mess everywhere. And so I just want to step through that process with you right now. So I'll turn the fan on first, and then I'll go through that process right here. That's it. So there's some other steps we can do on a weekly basis, but in terms of just doing general routine maintenance on it, we're just going to blow everything off and blow it through the hose, sweep up when we're done, and then you're ready to go for the next color.